Hey everyone, no respawns here. Hope you're having a grand week. So, we're near the end of the current season. I think the next one starts next week, or maybe the week afterwards. It's soon, basically. And obviously, one of the buildings you want right at the end of this current season is the Hunter's Lodge. I think you unlock it about kind of level 97 or something. Like, it's a few levels before the end. And naturally, now that I've unlocked it, I had to do something on it. Because it is a very, very expansive structure. It's quite intimidating because it is huge, as you can see. But what I do like about it is the fact that it seems to... I swear people are just listening to me. And the fact that it's not... like really expansive on the inside. I know that seems like you want it to be big, but I've mentioned before how like massive structures are just a pain in the ass to decorate because you have more space than you need. So they've done quite a good job. This location here, I have built here quite a few times. I do like this location. So we're just here, just there, kind of near, I think like Helvetia's there, White Powder. Winter Sports is just down there. What I like about this area is it seems to be kind of a trigger point for certain events. So you often will get Graham walking down here, which is quite neat. And I do like Graham. I bought all of his decent plans, but he's just a cheerful chap. So before I show you the inside, I've not actually had a chance to use one of these little Nuka-Cola vans. They're so good. And what I really like is how I can integrate them within a wall. Quite a lot. So I've always liked the idea of having like an external little shop area for people to actually buy stuff from my camps. And like this might be, I might even blueprint this or like blueprint a version of it because it's just something nice and you can just sort of just make it part of the walls and it just looks really, really cool. Another huge thing is this gate, which is awesome. Beware the eater, I didn't notice that. I've actually never read that. I really, really like this. This is only through Fallout First. You get it for free. If you're watching this video live, obviously quickly grab it if you have it. If you haven't, then I believe these things often come back. Or I think maybe you can actually just claim them. I don't think you have a time limit. I'm not too sure. Either way, if you can claim it, definitely pick it up because it's pretty cool. Some people mentioned that it doesn't open fully. I actually quite like the fact it opens like this because I think it just kind of makes it feel secure. It would be nice if there was maybe a little bit less space underneath because technically a ghoul could just kind of crawl under that. I've obviously walled it off in my traditional style. With this one, I went fairly traditional. Because of the fact that it uses, I've used a lot of my build budget. So I wanted to go for ostensibly a little bit of a safe build in a lot of ways, but I wanted to do some quirks. I was going to put some bigger stuff integrated in the walls, but I ended up using all of my build budget. But overall, I'm pleased with how this turned out. So let's pop in. So a quirk of this little area, and I will point out, as you see, it's quite sloped. I've only ever built here when I've kind of used usually the contemporary house sets. And so it kind of has presented a few issues with actually kind of, building stuff around the outside. But I've tried to be as busy as possible, maximizing kind of how I've spread out my build budget. Also, this is hilarious. This stupid little tub here, which is meant to be a planter, does not allow me to actually plant plants. So GG Bethesda, GG. You can see some things do float. This thing is on quite a nice foundation and continuing with the kind of trend of quite a lot better prefabs, it is a nicer foundation. I think this might actually have something to do with I think I mentioned, I'm sorry, they've got a new developer, haven't they? It's not actually Bethesda developing it. It's someone else whose name I've completely forgotten, and I am sorry because I think a couple of them follow me on Twitter. But I think they might be the reason for this because this asset has a lot more attention to detail, and I just really, really like it, and I'm glad I finally picked it up. I think I might not tear down this one for a while. So I'd make the thing. I've got so many plushies which I haven't actually used before, so there was meant to be a table between them. I forgot. Oops. So pretend there's a table between them. I don't actually remember which is the official door, so I just use this one because I quite like the way it looks. So inside, as you can see, it's basically got this downstairs area, which is kind of a nice size, but again, not too big. And then you've got this area up here, and then you've got this kind of little kind of balcony area, and everything's a decent size, but again, it's not too big, and I absolutely despise when we have too much space because it just pisses me off. I have no idea what to do with it. A lot of the are like the scrap mansion ones, you know, like the buses and the storage crates packed on each other, look incredible. But by the time I've done 2 rooms, I'm like, wow, cool, what does the other room do? I guess I'll make a workshop or a bar. And it just tends to, because I play, like, I treat these like actual player homes. I'm not a big fan of making, like, cafe builds or whatever. I never know what to do with the other rooms. It is a nice shape, though. So a couple of issues on it, as I said, it is quite large, just generally quite large. So it kind of, in terms of just pure space, it's quite a pain. Also, it's really difficult to place things on this little fireplace area, which is a little bit of a pain in the arse. And also, I did have trouble just sometimes placing lights, kind of in the corners, but I do like it, and if you get a chance to unlock it, definitely do. For those panicking that they're going to miss it on this season, they do tend to have a convention where I think it's like a few months after, or a period of time, I'd actually know it might be a few months, I might be pulling that number out of my arse, but they do tend to give you a chance to unlock these things at a later date, either through kind of like getting the plan, I think, from, what's the face, Minerva, or just buying it from the Atom store. So fear not if you haven't had a chance to do anything with it. It's quite like, a lot of people mentioned they just didn't know where to begin in terms of decorating it, and I just found just kind of making it kind of a bit more of a traditional player home. So it would be nice to actually, weird enough, to have the bedroom upstairs and maybe make that kind of walkway a little bit chunkier so I could squeeze a bed, because it does feel a little bit weird, this kind of building, having the bed downstairs. But outside of that, it's quite cool. Let me just get to the photo mode. I really like that, honestly. That's my favourite part. I was just like, oh, I'll put something in the wall, and I'm like, yeah, that looks great. That's the best part. Fuck this thing. Look at that. Yeah, look at it. I'm gonna make that the thumbnail instead. I'm not, but it's quite a nice little structure, and I'm overall quite pleased with that. I've got, in terms of build budget, I've got like a smidgen left. That is a official unit of measurement. I think it's like, what, a tenth. Like, I could place some stuff, but it would mostly just kind of adding into the chaff. So, like, one thing you could do with this, which might make an interesting one, is kind of, like, barricade it, like, really close to the house. Rather than doing the walls as I've done now, you could basically just barricade the house, so then you could really fill the inside with lots of shenanigans. But overall, I'm quite pleased with it. Let me know what you've done. I haven't actually seen anyone send me pictures of this one yet. I think maybe because a lot of people are just kind of, like, rushing through the last levels of the season. Transparency, the second I got my membership atoms, I was like, boom. I was like, I can't be asked, because I know I wanted a break before we do the next season, which I'm gonna try and do without cheating at the end, but we'll see how I manage. Anyway, as always, follow me on Twitter at norespawns. For those who didn't watch my latest vlog that I posted a week ago, because it was in Ireland for the last week. So if you haven't watched that, watch that, just because I give you some updates, all positive stuff. Basically just planning for when Starfield drops, me leaving the UK, and lots of the fun stuff as well. I'm going to be streaming something soon. I haven't decided what. There's lots of new games coming out this month, so I might see about doing something fun. But until that point, you guys enjoy the rest of your week, and I'll speak to you absolutely lovely bunch soon. You take care.